Hello, I'm Lamar Townsend broadcasting live from my bedroom, and I want to preface this video by saying that everyone is capable of needing some solitude and alone time and some me time every now and then. But these four zodiac signs need more alone time than others. These four zodiac signs either prefer to be alone most of the time or just don't generally mind to be alone. Um, so these are the top four zodiac signs that are loners. Let's start with number one. By the way, I'm Lamar Townsend. It's nice to meet you. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like me on Facebook, facebook.com/Lamar Townsend Official. Like me on, or follow me on Instagram at Lamar Townsend. Check out my website, lamartownsendtarot.com, where you can purchase your own personal private, or you can contact me to purchase your own private confidential tarot reading. Aside from being a zodiac enthusiast, an astrologer, and an artist and a musician, I am also a psychic, intuitive, clairvoyant, clairaudient, empathic tarot reader. And I do personal readings, so please contact me at lamartownsendtarot.com or lamar.townsend@gmail.com. If you visit my website, lamartownsendtarot.com, you can see some personal reading testimonials from people who have gotten readings from me and people who have come back numerous times to get readings from me. So each time they tell me I'm accurate, so I love that. With that being said, you can also follow me on Google Plus if you have a Google Plus. Check out my Bandcamp and follow me on SoundCloud. Alright, let's start with number one. The number one loner of the zodiac, in no particular order, really, is Scorpio. Scorpio is a water sign, unlike the other two water signs. Scorpio has an innate ability to see through the BS in any given situation and any given person. And a lot of times you'll find, in relationships, whether it's a friendship, with or a family, relationship, a love relationship, what so have you, associates, work associates. There's always, and depending on how close you are, there's always some level of fakeness, and Scorpio cannot stand fakeness because Scorpio is a sign that's not fake at all. Scorpio cannot be fake. um, I mean, Scorpio can be fake. Scorpio can play fake, but in a very kind of snide, um, aggressive, sneaky way. um, where the truth is always kind of bubbling underneath the surface, waiting to just pop out, blow the lid off. But Scorpio cannot stand fakeness and being fake. And because of that, the fact that there's always some element of fakeness, and there's always, sometimes you can't tell, where you stand with people and where people stand with you because of that fakeness. Sometimes people just can't be real. Scorpio hates dealing with people like that. And sometimes Scorpio can find that when they really, really take a look and really squint their eyes at the people around them, they'll find, a lot of fake elements, that these people have, about them. And, so a lot of times you'll find, if you have a Scorpio friend, depending on how close you are, you'll find that the Scorpio, and you can be close, or you can be super close with a Scorpio, and the Scorpio will still do this to you. The Scorpio will pull you in, you know, and they'll get close to you, and they'll allow you to get close to them, and reveal secrets, and then they'll push you away. And then like that's a Scorpio's nature. They need alone time to process the BS around them, pretty much. They need alone time to really, think things through and deal with their emotions and process their emotions, Um, Scorpios prefer to be around real people, authentic people, people who um are just real. People are going to be real with the Scorpio, but people who are most importantly going to be real with themselves. If you can't be real with yourself, then you clearly can't be real with other people. Therefore, you're going to have issues with the Scorpio because Scorpios love real people. All right. So, the second loner of the zodiac. Can you guess which one I'm about to say? I hear some of you saying it in my head. Capricorn is the second loner of the zodiac. Actually, I'd put Capricorn first, but I put Capricorn first in so many of these videos, I decided to switch it up in this video. But if we're going in terms of like most to least, Capricorn would definitely be number one in this category, alright? Capricorn was number one in my most rude and most shady sign, actually. I did that video yesterday, so check that out. Hopefully it shows up like on the side, somewhere at the bottom, whatever. Um, or maybe I'll just put it at the end of this video. That's what I'll probably do. So just watch till the end and then, you know, it'll pop up and you can click it. But anyways, Capricorn is a major loner. Capricorn is a very independent sign, a very Capricorn is a go-getter, very ambitious, very hardworking, very put work first, put work in their goals, you know, and the vision that they have for themselves in their life before anything, really. Love, family, relationships, you know, friendships, they don't really care, you know. And sometimes, you know, Capricorns, you know, just for the mere fact that they're so hardworking and so goal-oriented, they can find themselves alone. Um, and the weird thing for Capricorn is, you know, Capricorns don't, you know, at when they're young especially, don't really like being alone. But as they grow older and become more evolved and developed, they realize the benefit of being alone. And the importance and the regenerating benefits, I guess, of solitude. Um, and after spending, you know, so much time, and this isn't for all Capricorns necessarily, but you know, for some Capricorns, after spending so much time dealing with the feeling of I don't want to be alone, you know, but you know, you seek out Capricorns can sometimes seek out companionship in the wrong people, and which will leave them, you know, feeling even more alone, you know. So, um, as a Capricorn gets older, once again, you know, they definitely realize the benefit of solitude. So, Capricorn is another one of those signs, much like Scorpio, where they may pull you in. You know, you may have that, you know, once in a blue moon time where a Capricorn, you invite a Capricorn out, or a Capricorn invites you out, invites you over, and you guys just have, you know, a ball doing whatever it is you guys do. And then you don't hear from the Capricorn for like a week or a month, you know. And that's just once again who a Capricorn is. Once again, it depends on your closeness with the Capricorn as well. But Capricorn is like that with people, you know, close to them and acquaintances. You know, I mean, there's really no in between with a Capricorn when it comes to this area. Capricorns really, you know, as they get older, they don't mind being alone. You know, they like being surrounded with around people. They like being around people, Capricorns. But as they get older, they like being around people like them, people that understand them, and they can't stand dealing with people that don't understand them. Capricorn once again has that innate ability, much like Scorpio, where they see through the BS. Um, so they can't stand fakeness. They can't stand the fakeness in relationships. You know, like to Capricorn and Scorpio, fakeness is like a wall. You know, between the real the real part of you, the realness, like, you know, if you're putting up that wall of fake, like, you know, Capricorn or Scorpio's just not going to vibe with you. So you know, Capricorn really is just a sign that's very independent and really doesn't mind being alone. You know, Capricorn, you know, Capricorn's motto is I'd rather be alone than be in the company with people I don't like, or the company of people that I don't get along with, or the company of people that I don't mesh well with, or vibe with, or gel with, you know? Um, so that's the Capricorn's motto is, you know, I'd rather be alone than be with the wrong people, basically. Number three, the number three loner of the zodiac. Can you guess which one I'm about to say? Aquarius. Aquarius, you guys. Interesting. Aquarius is an air sign. And the air signs usually are not ones that like to be alone. The air signs love to talk and they love to communicate and they love to be stimulated constantly, whether it be, intellectually, visually, whatever. Um, but Aquarius is one of those signs once again where there's a common theme with these four signs is they pull you in and then they push you away. They pull you in and they're like, okay, thank you for your time. I enjoyed our time together, but now I need some me time. That's Aquarius. Aquarius at a young age. I find often, and not always the case with Aquarius, and maybe it's just that Saturn energy as well. Aquarius can sometimes be born as a single child or born into a family where there is a drastic age difference between siblings. So a lot of times, especially when Aquarius is younger, Aquarius can have, difficulty connecting with people his or her age. So Aquarius learns the benefit of once again solitude, and Aquarius can, at a young age find ways to entertain and uh keep his or herself occupied, at a young age. So at a very young age, Aquarius learns the benefit of solitude and being alone and some, using me time to develop, his or her skills or interests and hobbies. So Aquarius is one that it's innate in them, that loner-esque, quality about them. Of course, they like being, amongst people. They like talking. They like interacting with people. But once again, Aquarius is also ruled by Saturn. So, you know, Saturn rules Capricorn as well. So there's definitely that element of needing to pull back and reassess and gather one's thoughts and emotions. And then, they come back. Now, with an Aquarius, in contradiction to a Capricorn, it may not take an Aquarius a month or two, to get back to. It may just take an Aquarius a few days, for them to recoup and recharge. And then it's like, okay, I got my alone time. Let's go out again. Let's have some fun. Let's interact with one another. So that's Aquarius. The fourth and the last loner of the zodiac. Notice I haven't mentioned any fire signs, although Aries can sometimes be a loner. Um, you know, but once again, all the zodiac signs can sometimes, have loner-esque qualities to them. Sagittarius as well. Um, with that being said, Leo loves to be around people. But anyways, the fourth zodiac sign that is a loner, the top four loners of the zodiac, number four, like Beyonce. For some people, that may completely go over your heads. All right, I'm done. All right, I think I said that though because she's a Virgo, and the number four zodiac sign that I'm talking about in this video of loners is Virgo. Virgo can be a loner. Virgo can sometimes be very socially awkward, and I've actually done a video on this. So check out the video why Virgos can sometimes come off as awkward. Um, that should be somewhere on my channel. Hopefully that pops up somewhere over here or below or wherever, or just go to the Virgo playlist on my channel. Because Virgo has their own, each sign has their own playlist on my channel. I think I'm trying to get better at organizing that. I think I am missing a few, but Virgo definitely has their own channel. Excuse the plane flying over my house right now. Okay, with that being said, Virgo can sometimes be a little socially awkward, and it can sometimes be a little hard for Virgo to connect with people. There is sometimes a disconnect, a disassociation when it comes to Virgos and the people in their lives, and it once again depends on the closeness, because if you're really close with a Virgo, a Virgo can interact and conversate with you, but like the conversation flows perfectly. But the further you get from that closeness, or to acquaintance, work acquaintance, work buddy, the more you'll notice kind of a dissociation, in your interaction with the Virgo. And that's because Virgos are a very dissociated kind of people. Um, Virgo is another one of those signs where they pull you in, and then they need their alone time, so that they need to push you away. And with a Virgo, whereas the other kind of signs, they kind of have a cycle, you know, where Capricorn, Scorpio, and Aquarius kind of have a cycle where you'll be able to tell, okay, you know, I'm not gonna, we chilled, we hung out, I'm probably not gonna hear from them, you know, I'm probably not gonna hear from Capricorn for another month, you know, I'm probably not gonna hear from Scorpio for like a week, probably not gonna hear from Aquarius for a few days. With Virgo, it's really unpredictable and sporadic. So you could have a month period where you know you and Virgo are really hanging out with each other and in constant contact, and then there could be 2 months that go by where you don't hear from Virgo, and then you know you get back in contact, and then 3 months you're hanging out and getting back in contact, and then you know a year goes by, you know, or a week or two, you know, 2 months, 3 months, you know, it's really unpredictable. That's because Virgos, sorry, I'm pretty sure I just spit. Virgos are ruled by Mercury, so they're Mercury rules. And by the way, you know, when Mercury goes in retrograde, this is why, you know, communication becomes really like, you know, erratic and unpredictable. Mercury is ruled, or Virgo is ruled by Mercury, therefore Virgo is ruled by the planet of communication and intellect and intellectual processing and the processing of the mind, and this is where Virgo dwells. So Virgo and Gemini, because Virgo and Gemini are both ruled by Mercury, definitely have some similarities. So if you ever really pay attention to a Gemini, you'll always find that they always need to be doing something. They have a lot of energy inside of them that they constantly need to get out of them. So, you know, a lot of times Geminis can be, you know, fast talkers. They can be, you know, they may have some nervous tics, you know, and that's that Mercury energy. Virgos are the same way. Except Virgos, because they're an earth sign, and earth signs like to be in control at all times. Virgos try to be in control at all times of everything, you know, what's going on in their head, their mental processes. So all of this is going on inside of a Virgo as they're having a conversation with you. And that all of this can be so exhausting for a Virgo. Like a Virgo's conversating with you about, you know, politics, but in their mind they're thinking about, you know, world peace and, you know, flowers and what they're going to eat for lunch and whether or not they took the laundry out of the you know the washing machine and put it in the dryer, and oh no I didn't, is that gonna make my clothes moldy and now am I gonna have to buy new clothes, you know. So Virgo just can, it's exhausting for a Virgo to constantly interact with people and to constantly, you know, a Virgo is also a giver, so sometimes people can take, and take from a Virgo. So constant interaction is very exhausting for a Virgo. So Virgo is a sign that needs to recharge, much like all the four zodiac signs. They just need time to recharge. Capricorn, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Virgo, they are signs that are loners. You know, they're the loners of the zodiacs and of the zodiacs, and you know that's not a bad thing. By the way, I'm a Capricorn. Um, I'm a Libra moon, so of course I love to be around people, but I definitely have that element. I'm a Virgo rising, where I need to have alone time, and you know have some peace and solitude. So these are the four loners of the zodiac, and just because we, you know, prefer our alone time sometimes or most of the time doesn't make us any different from anyone else. And that this isn't to say that, you know, the other 8 zodiac signs don't have loner tendencies, you know. These are just my opinions, you know. Thank you for listening and watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like me on Facebook, facebook.com/Lamar Townsend Official. Follow me on Instagram at Lamar Townsend. Check out my website, lamartownsendtarot.com. Purchase your own personal, private, confidential tarot reading, alright? And I'll catch you guys next time, okay? See ya. Oh, make sure you press the bell so you get notifications every time I upload a new video, okay? Stay in the loop, alright? See ya.